Good afternoon, I'm Drew Mandeville.
And I'm Evelyn Russell, and we're here with your WIKE news.
Stay updated on all the latest school news by reading our online newspaper, The Squire, at www.squirenews.com. You can scan the QR codes around the school to access it. Also, follow The Squire on social media at EHS Squire on Instagram.
Attention all students. Students did not have school Monday, March 13th due to a scheduled energy day. We hope you all enjoyed the day off.
Tutoring is now available after school on Mondays and Wednesdays in Miss Ludwig's room, G119, from 3:20 to 4:20.
The cafeteria celebrated National School Breakfast Week last week. Students enjoyed smoothies for breakfast and had a chance to be entered in a contest to win an Amazon gift card. Stay tuned for when we announce the winner.
Attention 6th to 8th graders. 21st Century is offering school homework help, academic enrichment, and a snack on Mondays through Thursdays. Applications are in the office.
Club and class news. Impact Group will begin meeting every Wednesday beginning March 15th. They will meet during B-Lunch. Students can bring their lunches to Mrs. McElhaney's art room to eat lunch. During the meeting, scripture will be read by the Impact Group leaders, and students are welcome to ask any questions about what is read, and the Impact leaders will try their best to answer them. The goal of the group is to create a more positive and loving environment throughout Eisenhower.
News from the Guidance Office. See the Guidance Office for scholarship opportunities. It is currently scholarship season, so seniors will need to regularly check their email for updates and deadlines regarding scholarships.
Students should be working on their CCR during advisory. See guidance or your advisory teachers with any questions.
Athletic news. Representatives from our boys basketball, girls basketball, and wrestling teams all advanced to the postseason for winter sports. Congratulations on such successful seasons.
Spring sports are now starting, and we wish our spring sports teams the same success.
Weight room is open Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 3:20 to 5 p.m. after school. If you have any questions, please see Mr. Penley.
WIKE News has partnered with Notice News to include relevant and reliable national and international news in our broadcast. Here's the latest from Notice News.
Are standardized tests about to be a thing of the past? Angie from Notice News has more.
Getting into an Ivy League school requires top grades, extracurricular achievement, and lots of hard work. But at Columbia University in New York City, the one thing you won't need soon are good SAT scores, or any SAT scores. That's because Columbia is officially becoming test optional, meaning it's dropping the requirement that prospective students take standardized tests as part of the undergrad admissions process. The SAT, or Scholastic Aptitude Test, is a 3-hour test with 3 sections, reading, writing and language, and math, that schools can use to weigh a college application. Columbia says it instead plans to weigh each applicant's unique journey, including the rigor of a student's curriculum, their academic achievement, and their demonstrated intellectual curiosity. They say students who don't submit SAT or ACT scores won't be at a disadvantage. Columbia is the first Ivy League school to officially get rid of this requirement. Several other colleges, though, including Harvard, Princeton, and NYU, temporarily dropped standardized test requirements during the pandemic when it became difficult for students to schedule them. Over 1,800 universities still have temporary test optional practices in place. Some critics have long argued against standardized tests, believing they're racially biased in favor of white and Asian American students. Others believe the tests are also slanted towards affluent students who can better afford private coaching and expensive test prep. And studies have shown that high school grades alone are a better indication of a student's likelihood to graduate and future college performance. For Notice News in Washington, I'm Angie Castillo.
Thousands of school children, all young girls, have been poisoned in Iran, and the country has erupted in protest. Jonathan from Notice News has more.
On the other side of the world in Iran, protests are raging after the unthinkable happened. News media report that since November, more than 1,000 school children, all girls, have been poisoned. Iran is a theocracy, meaning its government is run by religious leaders, in this case, ultra-conservative Muslims. Under their rule, the UN says women and girls are treated as second-class citizens, forced to cover their heads, dress modestly, and lack the right to divorce. In November, 22-year-old Mahsa Amini died while in custody of the country's morality police for not covering her head properly. The country has seen widespread protests since then, and those protests have been met with resistance from the government and other independent religious groups. Now it's feared that religious groups opposed to girls' education are behind this poisoning of schoolgirls. This girl says she has numbness everywhere and can't walk. 25 of Iran's 31 provinces have reported these poisonings, leading many parents to pull their daughters out of school. In this video, protesters are heard chanting, "They are lying that our enemy is America, our enemy is right here." Shortly after that, Iran's supreme leader called the poisoning of these girls unforgivable.
If there are individuals behind this, which there must no doubt be people involved, some are surely involved in some way, the relevant governing bodies, enforcement and information bodies must pursue this and find the leads on this crime. The culprits must face the toughest of punishments.
He said the people responsible should be punished by death. For Notice News in Brooklyn, I'm Jonathan Lowe.
Is space travel about to become more sustainable? Jonathan from Notice News has more.
The world's first 3D printed rocket is set to be launched into space. Made by the company Relativity Space, it calls the rocket the Terran 1, measuring in at 110 feet tall and 7.5 feet wide. They say they're able to build the rocket from start to finish with raw materials in just 60 days. Compare that to the nearly 2,000 days, 5 years, it takes to build a rocket the conventional way. It's partly because they use 100 times fewer parts than in a regular rocket.
85% of the rocket by mass that's sitting on the pad right now is 3D printed. That's the rocket prior to this with the highest percentage was probably, maybe 4% 3D printed by mass. So it's a huge step change. And as such, we need to prove that a 3D printed rocket can survive the environments of a rocket's flight.
For its first mission, called Good Luck, Have Fun, the Terran 1 is set to be launched mid-March, and if successful, it could completely change the space industry.
There are a lot of things that are special about this. We have the ability to demonstrate a brand new way of manufacturing large aerospace systems that has the potential to make access to space less expensive, more frequent, and more reliable. And that definitely has positive impacts on people's lives on Earth, and it will for years to come.
Relativity Space says the Terran 1 is reusable and will be fueled by liquid oxygen and liquid natural gas, making it a sustainable approach to space travel. For Notice News in Brooklyn, I'm Jonathan Lowe.
This week, our area experienced quite a bit of winter weather. Now on to a winter outdoor segment.
Building a snowman with Haley
and Winnie. First, you want to start a ball.
Then you roll it around so it picks up more snow.
Do this 2 more times, making it smaller each time.
Stack all 3 balls up and give it eyes, a nose, and a jacket.
Your snowman is complete.
Luckily, we had a 2-hour delay and were able to do this. Thanks for watching.
And that's all for this afternoon's announcements. Have a great day and stay classy, Eisenhower.